Hey there, hi, welcome to the channel. I am Garrett, and let me tell you what, I have helped clients with big budgets and small budgets, and in today's video, we are talking about creating big style on a low budget and some top tips you can use to decorate your home. Now, the first thing we absolutely have to talk about that you have to remember when it comes to decorating your home is that you really need to start off nailing your style and planning your space. And what does all of that mean? What does that have to do with being on a budget? You have to figure out exactly what you want your home to look like before you start buying things. That way you don't end up with stuff you don't want, or you realize, wait a second, this really isn't my style, like this doesn't work here. And that's gonna happen when you move into a new place, right? Like, let's say this home is bigger than your last one. Well, maybe you need more furniture or everything feels smaller, so we don't wanna add to that problem. So nailing your style, figuring out what the home needs. Come up with some floor plans, get some inspiration, find photos that reference what you want to achieve before you start buying. Now, let's talk about some of the areas where I think you should spend a little bit of extra money, and some of them you should definitely save on. I hesitate to tell you these are things that are good to spend a lot of money on, but they're things that we don't want to sacrifice quality on, so keep that in mind. The main item in a room, the main piece of furniture in that room is something that it always makes sense to get the best quality you can afford for. So like, a sofa in your living room. You're going to sit on it. You're going to use it. It needs to be comfortable. It needs to be durable and long lasting. It needs to stand up to whatever you are throwing at it, whether it is, a naughty little cavalier. If you have children, if you just have some rowdy friends that are going to come over and have a movie night on it, that's okay. It's got to be able to stand up to it. So that may be a piece where you say, I'm willing to put a little bit more money into it to get a performance fabric, or I need it to be really big and oversized. So that's something I have to think about. It's okay to do that. The bed in your bedroom, it's got to be a comfortable bed. You have to have a really good quality mattress. And that's not something you see, but it's something that it's worth putting a little bit of money into. And the same thing goes for a dining room or every room in your house. Whatever the main piece of furniture you are going to use in that space, it's worth spending some extra money on to get something that's really good quality. Something else I always believe in putting some extra money into are comforts, things that are going to make your space usable and comfortable to be in. One of those things would be great bedding. I love great bedding. I'm all about it because you spend a lot of time in bed, like just sleeping or hanging out or being in there, whatever. It has to be comfortable. Good quality bedding is going to be that thing. Figure out what that means for you. There are other areas in your home you want to do that as well. Something like in the kitchen. I don't want to put a lot of money into bad quality cookware. I want it to be good and nice. And so if I leave it out, if you see it sitting on the stove, it's going to look beautiful. That's another thing that it's okay to spend a little bit of extra money on. But there are also areas you should save that you don't need to spend a ton of money. The top thing I think you don't have to spend a ton of money on are actually throw pillows. You can get throw pillows everywhere, and throw pillow covers, don't even get me started. Go to home decor stores, go to outlet stores, go to Amazon. Go on Amazon and find some great pillow covers. As a matter of fact, go to my Amazon storefront. But you don't have to spend a ton of money on pillow covers. You certainly can if something really speaks to you. Like a designer fabric on a pillow, they're great, but designer fabric is really expensive. You're talking like hundreds of dollars a yard, and a pillow might need 1 or 2 yards, but like, that's a really expensive pillow cover. So you don't have to spend a ton of money on it. And you can also get really good pillow inserts. Get them a little oversized so the pillows are full. And that works out nicely because you get good quality, good comfortable pillows without having to spend a ton of money on them. Also, if you are that person, you're gonna just buy pillow covers for the pillows, go check out the clearance section because there's always pillows there that people don't want because the covers are ugly. Okay, I will say that, but the inserts in them are really good. And you can sometimes find a pillow insert for just a couple of dollars that is really nice, high quality, feels good and comfortable, but doesn't have to cost a ton to get that. So yeah, I'm gonna save money on those pillow covers. Another area I'm going to save money on is actually lighting. I love lighting. I love layered lighting. I love to have a ton of it, but if you're gonna have a lot of lighting, it's gonna be expensive. If you're buying quite a few fixtures that are already expensive, it is. And you can find a lamp, a table lamp, easily that's $800, $900, $1,200. That's a lot for a lamp. It's okay to go to a thrift store and get a lamp. It's okay to go to a Home Goods and get lamps from there. they're good, they're nice. I have plenty of them. This lamp right behind me is from Amazon. It's a good deal. And guess what? The light bulb in them is all the same. The electrical, the wiring is all the same. It's okay to save money on light fixtures. Also, I find that you don't touch light fixtures that often. Like a ceiling mounted fixture, I don't touch them. You know, they're on the ceiling. I touch the light switch, but not the fixture itself. So it's okay that maybe I didn't spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on a light fixture for those rooms because you don't have to. Now, sometimes you want to, that's okay. Like, you know me, I love a crystal chandelier. That's all right to put a little bit of money into one area or something, but I also kept some of the original fixtures from this house and used them because I really like them. You can save money on a light fixture, whether it is a floor lamp, a table lamp, even LED rechargeable lamps. They don't have to be very expensive. Sconces, overhead lighting, you can save money there, and it's a good place to do it. Now that's high and low, but there's also a mid-tier we have to talk about. Some items maybe you want to spend a little extra on, or you feel really passionate about, or maybe it just doesn't make sense for you to do that. And the first one I would say is artwork. I love artwork. I love real artwork, original artwork, but it's expensive. And you might not be the person that says, I can justify putting that money into artwork. A custom commission piece, let's say thousands of dollars, okay? And it's not, I'm not the person that's ever going to tell you art's not worth it, because it's representative of what's happening right now and creativity. It also brings life into a space, but you just might not be able to afford it. And that is okay. I've gotten massive pieces of artwork that are a really good deal, and I've gotten really small pieces of artwork that were very expensive. It's okay to be somewhere in the middle there. It's okay to make your own artwork. It's okay to ask someone you know or have your kids do something. It's also okay to buy a custom commission piece. I'd also say, look at what's at those box stores. You might find something you like, because sometimes it doesn't have to be the most groundbreaking piece of artwork. It can just be a generic piece that works, that fits the space and ties the color in together. If you're not the person that has that great appreciation for it, that's all right. Or you can get multiple pieces, layer and collage them together. Sometimes you just want to get a bunch of matching frames and put black and white family photos in them. That's okay too. Thrift stores have great artwork. And if you're looking for an actual piece, a custom commission piece, art schools always have students that are looking to sell a piece and make a little extra money. Art fairs are great places to find things too. And don't write off sculpture as well. There are lots of interesting things out there you can get that will take the place of a painting, but be more interesting or textured or physical. That's cool too. Artwork is a great place to think about spending money, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that place you do it. Another good place to save a little bit of money, but it's worth putting something into, is drapery and window treatments. I love great window treatments. Designers across the world always focus in on window treatments because they really make a space feel luxurious and beautiful and expensive. But I don't think you have to go fully custom with window treatments. You know, designer fabric, like I said, hundreds of dollars a yard. You could spend tens of thousands of dollars on window treatments, on a single window treatment. But you don't have to, absolutely not. You can get beautiful things, and you can find them in my Amazon storefront, that will actually fit your space in a custom way and look very expensive for not a lot of money. But choosing window treatments can be difficult. As a matter of fact, every aspect of interior design can be hard, especially when you're on a budget. So it's worth maybe talking to a professional like me. You could book a one-on-one virtual design consultation with me using the link in the description box down below, or going to intro.co. We can do a FaceTime call together where you can show me your house and I can tell you exactly what I think you need to do and get some of those difficult questions answered. So be sure you check it out, and be sure to remember that the times shown are already in your time zone. Another great mid-tier item that you should consider for your home that doesn't have to be the most expensive or the cheapest is a rug. Rugs are hard worn because they're on the floor. You walk on them, like our shoes are on them, the dog's paws are on them, the kids are sitting on the floor messing around playing with them. Rugs get worn in an aggressive manner sometimes, and it doesn't make a ton of sense to really buy an expensive rug that's just gonna get worn out. It just doesn't. So rugs are a good place to either splurge or save. You may be very passionate about hand knotted wool rugs or vintage, or a certain texture or material. And if you are, then I think go for it. Hey, by all means, absolutely. But if you're that person that you're like, you know what, it's gonna get destroyed one way or another, like I'm not spending a ton of money on a rug, then get something cheaper. I just got a puppy, all right? He's, almost a year old. He's coming up on 9 months, but he still is in that destructive phase where he wants to chew things up and mess around with them. So you know what? I'm not buying expensive rugs right now. I already did that. He's messed some of them up. I'm not happy about that, but it is what it is, and I knew it was going to happen. That's something I have to think about. I'm not replacing those rugs that he's messed up because they're just going to get messed up again until he's a little bit better trained and calmer. I have so many clients who say, my pet is just a little older right now, so we're not doing rugs at the moment, and maybe in the future we will, but they have accidents or something. That's all right. We can work around that. It's okay not to have a rug. It's okay to have a really luxurious, expensive rug. The more delicate rugs in my home are in the studio here, where I have a cowhide, I have a wool rug that I really love so much. And so when I'm not working in here, the door is closed. Arden doesn't come in because he's not going to mess up the rugs any more than he already has. We're not going to talk about that. But that's something to think about also. Now, if you made it this far in the video, you're obviously getting some good value for your time, and I love that for you, but you should also take a moment, hit that subscribe button. I am always looking out for you in every one of these videos, 2 a week, so be sure you join us, become a part of our GarrettLeChic family, and hit that subscribe button. Call yourself an OG and subscribe before we hit 100,000 subscribers. Yes, join us. I also would greatly appreciate it if you help me to defeat YouTube's algorithm by giving this video a like. Okay, that's the high, the low, and the mid-tier areas where you should be considering what you're putting your money into. But there are also some other things to think about, and that's new and old. I like a mix of high and low and new and old. I think that builds character, it builds personality into your home, and that's sometimes what you need when you're working on a budget that's big or small. All right, I like to see a little vintage here or there. Maybe if you have a really high budget, we're looking at antiques. But if you have a lower budget, we're looking at some cool vintage pieces, and that's okay. Now, what I would say to go vintage on is something that's easy to clean and take care of. So I'm looking for stone and wooden tables, wooden chairs. Those are things that I can literally just wipe clean. And I am very happy about that because I don't have to worry about what's going on underneath that I can't see, because I can see everything. Wooden chairs, tables. I have a vintage marble coffee table here in my studio that I absolutely love. I have a vintage desk here that, once again, is one of my favorite pieces in this space. You can go vintage on artwork. Like I said, go to some thrift stores, check out what they have, see what's happening. Etsy is a great place to find vintage artwork. I love that. Cherish is great for vintage furniture because they offer shipping. It's one of my favorite sites to go to. eBay. eBay is great for accessories and decor, which is another area I think going vintage on makes a lot of sense, because vintage accessories, they tend to not be mass produced, not to be like low quality, junky. I don't like plastic things. I don't like things that don't feel like original, authentic to me. I like vintage books too, so vintage coffee table book. That's a great way to get artwork on a budget. If you find a beautiful book that has great images, go for it, especially one that's a little damaged, like if the cover's messed up, the spine's broken. Nobody's restoring a $5 book. As long as it's not a rare book, I mean, check it out and see, because you might find like, a first edition book that's gonna pay off your mortgage, and I love that for you. But, if it's not that, then just cut it up and turn it into artwork. That's great too. Vintage books, wonderful. Vintage accessories and decor. There's so much personality there, and I think that's interesting. I want to find collectible things or vintage things. Find something you're passionate about, especially when you're on a budget. Like, I collect Wedgwood. All right, I talk about this in a ton of videos. I love Jasperware. It's one of my favorite things. I have a weakness for it, okay? I love it because it's something I know I'm never going to look at a piece of it and be like, oh, I'm tired of that. Just donate it to the thrift store. Like, absolutely not. I'm going to go to the thrift store to look at you donating it because I think you're crazy and I'm going to buy that. Okay, that's what I love about it. So I know I'm never going to waste money on it. I'm never going to get tired of it. Now, when it comes to buying things brand new, my go-to is going to be anything upholstered. I'm looking for it brand new because reupholstering furniture is very expensive. You are going to have a really hard time choosing what fabric you're going to reupholster it in. So sometimes it could take months. The good reupholstery people will have big backlogs of clients, so you're going to wait a while to have that done. And like I said, it's really expensive. Designer fabric is really expensive. Now, here are some top tips to remember when you are sourcing, you're buying things when you're on a budget, because I want you to get the best deals, the best value for your money, no matter what your budget is. So number one is get creative when you're sourcing. And sometimes that means looking a store up, seeing if they're associated with another retailer, or looking to see if there is a dupe of that product. If it's something brand new, like there's gonna be a dupe out there most likely, so like why would you pay a premium for something that someone else is making the same exact thing cheaper? And also you don't realize a lot of stores, they buy from distributors, so it literally is the same exact thing. I also am a professional at reverse image searching things all of the time. Google is one of my favorite resources in the world. Reverse image search that thing, you will find it for cheaper somewhere else, or you may find that it's a way better deal than you thought it was, and now you're really excited about it. Get creative with sourcing. Like I said, go to the thrift stores, go to yard sales, go to antique stores, and go to flea markets too. Go to swap meets. Hey, that's great too. I love Facebook Marketplace. Amazing, amazing resources are out there, so get creative when you're looking for them. The next top tip I want you to remember is to take your time and don't rush, because when you rush, you're probably not gonna get the best deal possible. I will wait until sale season. I know that there are certain retailers I like that they have a sale every year around the holidays. That's when I'm gonna look to buy those items and purchase those things because I want the best deal possible. I'm also gonna go to outlet stores. I love an outlet store. Love an outlet store because I can also look at items that have damage on them that they're trying to sell cheap, and I can say, well, you know, if I was thinking of getting that new, I see all of these pieces, 10 of them here, all have the same type of damage. Maybe that's not the quality I thought it was. Avoid it. Something else you have to remember is that you are usually going to sacrifice something when it comes to design. And that can be a number of things. You know, I always say you get 2 out of 3. Either it's gonna be affordable, it's gonna look good, or it is going to happen quickly. So if you want it to be affordable and look good, it's gonna take time. So don't think that you're gonna have this turned over overnight. It's okay to have a mattress on a floor for a while. It's okay not to have every piece of furniture the day you move in. That's all right. Take your time, don't rush yourself. Quality is key for me. I don't wanna buy something that is cheap or low quality just to have to replace it again and again and again, because now I paid 3 times the cost of that cheaper item when I probably could have got the expensive thing for less than that. I want good quality first and foremost, no matter how long it takes me to find it or get it in my budget. That is going to be my priority, and it should be yours too. We also have to talk about the fact that most people live in average homes. So be sure you check out this video right here, all about decorating the average home. There's some great top tips in there that you might like. Be sure you click this beautiful little photo of me right here to subscribe to the channel, and be sure you head over here because I will see you over there.